welcome to yet another edition on the Ego Studio Interactive Talk Show section. And with me here today is a young Nigeria aspirant who is running for the seat of presidency. For over the years now, Nigeria has been clamoring for a young, vibrant president. And we have someone here on the show today. Welcome. I'll be asking him some few questions. Welcome again, sir, to Ego Studio.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Sir, I want to be asking you, what are your names? Where are you from? Which institution did you attend? Where do you base? Tell us about you.
Thank you, my uncle. I want to say thank you first and foremost to Istanbul, Turkey, for giving me the opportunity to be here and to talk to everyone in Turkey. My name is Faduri Oluwadare Joseph. I hail from Osun State, Ipetu area of Osun State, and I schooled in hometown before moving to Ibadan, Lagos, then finally at Busali University, Epoma, formerly Edo State University, where I read sociology. And after finishing that, 5 years, no job, then I relocated down to US, where I also studied nursing, and presently I am a nurse. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we are talking to Faduri Oluwadare Joseph, who is based in the US, and also he's a nurse. Does that mean you've never been into any political thing? You've never been a political person?
Apart from getting involved in student unionism, because I've never been in active politics apart from student unionism. What I mean by that is that when I was in 200 level in the university, I was my departmental president, Department of Sociology, and also when I've always been a leader anyway. When I was in my 300 level, I realized that in my school then in Eboma, there was no faculty association. So I brought together every other president within that faculty of social sciences, where we have economics, banking and finance, and all of that. I brought them together and we formed a new association called SOSI. I am sure that a lot of students in that school now don't even know the originator of that faculty association that I feel is the biggest and the biggest in any university in Nigeria. So aside from that, I've never been, politics has never been what I want to do. I just want to live my life and take care of people and be fine.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As you can hear from Faduri himself, he is not into active politics, but what the country has been saying, what the youth has been clamoring for, he's taking it up upon his shoulder to become a young Nigerian aspirant who will take the country to the next level. Also, Mr. Faduri, I will be asking you again on how have your journey been from being from the school to moving to the US to everything you've become now? What is your what do you aspire for the younger generation in your journey so far? What have you been thinking for them?
My journey so far has been I would say tough but sweet at the end, and also feel that at the end of the day what I want to achieve is that making sure that the younger generation is able to take a cue from me, and because in our country now, our younger generations, goes into ritualism and all that, Yahoo and all that. But I want them to know that everybody have excuses for what they are doing, but those excuses are not actually genuine. There are a lot of ways you can fight for life, and at the end of the day, come out strong. I finished school. I actually lost my dad when I was 4 years old. And I lost my mom when I was 14 years old. So as a 14-year-old, I was already an orphan. So there was no dad, there was no mom. So I was struggling things out and went to school, finish up, then no job too for 5 years before I relocated to the US. And from there, the struggle continued. One thing about Nigeria was we have the surviving spirit. We can always survive anywhere we are in the world. And now, how many years after, and I'm coming back to our country, a country I feel can be better than it is right now. Our country is a mess. It wasn't what I wanted to do, but when I see the way it's been getting messy and messy by the day, and our leaders have nothing to fix it, I feel that if there must be someone that is going to lead a movement to change our country, then I could be the one to lead that movement. And that is where I am today. So if I'm able to become Nigerian president, then I can let Nigerian youth know that no matter the situation of where you find yourself, whether you have a father, you have no mother, you can become something and something great in life.
Thank you, Mr. Faduri. Maybe moving further, what is your interest? What interested you? What gives you the zeal to think that you can move Nigeria as a nation to another different level in less than 4 years if you become the president?
What actually put me into this is what make it work, because I live abroad and I see a lot of things happening abroad. We're in Turkey, there's light here, there's water, there's road, there's everything. I live in the US, there's water, there's light. So if there's light in the US, there's light in Turkey, why not in Nigeria? If there's good road in the US and there's good road in Turkey, why not Nigeria? If there is, food here, food in America, food in Turkey, why hunger in Nigeria? So all of these things were, the things that drove me into the fact that we have to change our country. Our country can be better than this. The reason why some of us are abroad is because our country is not good. So if we fix our country, then all of us can even go back home too and raise and make it better. And that's what actually pushed me into wanting to do this. And I know that if I have the support of Nigerians all around the world, we can do this.
Thank you so much. The youth are watching. Mr. Faduri Oluwadare Joseph, live from Ego Studio. Moving further, Mr. Faduri, I want to ask you something like, your experience has fed, so many people has fed your impact in them, either by good or by kind and all that. That this impact rendering to the society, how long have you been involved in the work of sociality and nation building?
Okay, thank you. About 10 years ago, I saw the need in our country that things are not going well. It's been a while that I've been saying go better, not be nice that. So then I started a foundation called F Planet Foundation. And with this foundation, every month we're giving out food, giving out help with money and all that. Before COVID hit, and there were other foundations that was supporting around Nigeria. Now at the point, I realized that the problem of Nigeria right now cannot be solved with foundation. We must fix the root of the problem, fix the country, put the country in the right track. Then foundation can now be able to help, to augment what government is doing. But no matter the amount of foundation in Nigeria now, the problem right now is so big that foundation alone cannot stop it. So I've used my foundation to do, apart from food, medical treatment. I've taken doctors to Nigeria. We do medical checkup, in different areas of Nigeria. But with all of this too, people are still in need. A lot of people still in need. So now I feel that I can move over, to be a leader that will lead a movement for us to rescue our country, so that those basic things that government is supposed to be also doing for the people that they're not doing, that we can make it happen. Not foundation having to be giving food to people, not foundation having to be doing medical treatment. It's supposed to be basic things that the government should be able to do for its people, but which we don't have. It's not foundation that will tar road. So all of this is what actually pushed me, that okay, I have to take the nation building work from foundation, get involved in governance of our country, so that we can rescue it and fix it. There could be light, there could be good road, there could be food, and we can now be able to tell our Nigerians, don't run abroad, home is good.
Thank you so much. From the present government currently right now in power, who is working so hard to make Nigeria better, do you think there is a positive outcome from this government?
Well, I don't see how this government is making or working hard to make Nigeria better. Because you and I know how much was rice 8 years ago before this government got into power, and how much is it now? How much was Gary? How much was ordinary pure water? 8 years ago we knew how much it was, and how much is it now? How much was a naira to a dollar 8 years ago, and how much is it now? So everything has been bastardized within the last 8 years, even worse than it is. 8 years ago, there was no young people going to ritualism and Yahoo the way it is today. So the government has not done anything positive or negative, in the life of Nigerian people, and that is why I feel that there's a need for a generational change of power, not just a change of leadership, a generational change of power, not taking another old man and putting another old man. We need to change completely the whole people in our country. We need to get them retired and tell them they've done the best. the best they can, but their best is not enough for our country. So let's we the youth pick up the country and turn it around.
Thank you so much. Stay with me. Here is Mr. Dari Oluwadare Joseph, and we are moving forward. But for now, we're going to go on a short.
For information, transformation, education, keep watching Eagle Studio. Thank you.
Welcome back. Still with me is Mr. Dari Oluwadare Joseph. I'll still be asking him more questions concerning the nation building of our country, Nigeria. We're still live here on Eagle Studio, Istanbul, Turkey. Moving forward, Mr. Oluwadare, I want to ask you something regarding the Middle East and regarding COVID-19. What do you think has been a controllable measure in the Middle East for COVID-19?
I think COVID-19 has been a big pandemic for the whole world, and I'm sure by now we're all tired, but I think the vaccines and also the use of masks has helped in curbing the spread of COVID all around, not just only in the Middle East, even in Africa and also in Western Europe and also in America. So the vaccines have really helped, and also use of mask. Yeah, I think that's the question.
Yeah, thank you. The use of mask has been actually lifted in some countries. Just like recently now, Turkey just lifted the use of mask in this country. Do you think Africa is doing the best in controlling COVID-19?
Well, I don't think Africa is doing anything at all to control it, because I've been to Africa severally, and the people that are using mask, they're even using it wrongly sometimes. I will just say them as this is when you use a mask and you put it below your nose, you are not using mask, but you're supposed to cover your nose. But Africa too is doing the best they can. But in a continent that is full of people are fighting to survive, people are fighting to eat, hunger is in the land and all that. So controlling COVID or whatever is the last thing that is in their mind. But the government actually did a lot, and I think also a couple of people in the country also did the best they can. It was just that the information education about it was poor. That's what I would say. Information about COVID in Africa was a little bit poor, but the little that people can do and gather from the internet, I'm sure they did, because social media has been a big part of information carrier in the world now. And well, we are getting out of it now. It looks like almost the whole world has gotten the COVID already. So that's why, because once you have, that's what we call herd immunity. Once you have herd immunity, so from the immunity now, almost everybody, 80% of population have gotten it. So definitely, there's nothing else that is left to go around. So that's why most of the countries, even America now, they've relieved the use of masks in some certain areas. So you don't have to use masks like it used to be very mandatory before.
Thank you. What are your experience to state, community, and nation's growth? What has been your challenge? Like you mentioned before, you have a foundation where you give out arms to people. What has been your experience, the challenges you go through when you do this? Compare it with local things and compare it to being a president. What do you think? How can you balance these things?
Well, I feel there's no difference between the local thing and being the presidency, because it is what you also do in the local thing that you're going to take to the presidency. If you have been a man who cares about people in the local area, then you take that to the presidency, because it is now caring for people in a larger number. If you have been caring about how people will eat, what they will do, how they will get a job, then it is taking it to a larger population, and also see how the larger population. I said something in January. I said a lot of time most politicians have the same manifesto, but the difference between them is the love that you have for your country. If you have love for your country, you will do everything possible to make things work. But if you don't have love for your country, then you're only thinking about me, and me. And I feel most of our leaders in Africa, I've been a selfish leader that think about me and not about we. Because if you think about me, a we and not a me thing, I think Africa will have developed better than it is today. If you have leaders who actually are thinking about we and not me.
Thank you. As someone who is politically inclined, someone who has had a little experience in the political things, I want to talk about your party. What is your party name? Which party are you running for as a young president? And why do you think your party is something that can make you become this president with all the oppositions we have in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you for that question. My party is New Nigerian People's Party, which is NNPP, and that is the number 3 party in Nigeria right now. The reason why I chose the party was because, first and foremost, of the name, New Nigeria. I feel that we need a new country. Sometimes ago they were suggesting changing Nigeria to ANC. I said no. Our problem is not about changing to ANC, because if you change Nigeria to any name and you put the same leaders, you get the same thing. So New Nigerian Party is a party where I feel I can be able to actualize my aim, because the APC and the PDP to me seems to be the same party. We get a lot of corruption. Once you lose from APC, you go to PDP so that they can cheat you. Once you lose from PDP, you return back to APC. So as far as I'm concerned, APC and PDP, there's one party. So if anybody is going to be sincere about fighting corruption in our country, fighting hunger, fighting insecurity, fighting joblessness, then it must be on a neutral party who will be able to share your agenda, share your mission, share your vision, and be able to allow you to do it. Not a party that's already been bedeviled with corruption and people that basically are just there to see what they can gain for themselves, not what they can do for their country.
Thank you very much. What would you have to share with younger generations who are going into community change, into politics, want to do more for their country? What advice will you share with younger generations?
The advice I will have with our generation right now, the younger one, is to get, because they have not really been involved in politics or leadership in our country. It is very important for us to get involved, because the politics have always been led for maybe the elderly ones or some people. Majority of Nigerian youth have not been involved in politics, and it is time for us to get involved, because if we don't get involved, we cannot just stay on the sideline and be complaining. That's what we do. We complain, we criticize, we're on social media, everybody's talking, but we're just talking. Now it is time to stop talking and stop acting, getting involved, because that is the only way we can make a difference in our nation. So my advice to younger ones is, let's get involved so that we can fix our country.
I want to ask you this. As a young Nigerian, a young man who is vibrant, who is active, and you've never been in any political power before, not a chancellor, not in the Senate, not in the House of Assembly. Now you're targeting the presidency. Do you think this is a very good start as a young man?
Thank you, my anchor. A lot of people have also asked me that same question. That why don't you go and be a councillor, a chairman, a governor, or something? And the question I told them is that, in the first place, one, I never wanted to be a politician. I just wanted to go to work, make my money, help as much as I can help, and forget about it. But now, that's one. Secondly, also, there is no political book that says you have to become something to become a president. That's two. Three is that when people say I'm too young, and I said, how old was Buhari in the first time when he was president? He was in his 29 years old. How old was Obasanjo when he was president? He was in his 30s. Right now, Ukraine President Zelensky is 43 years old. Emmanuel Macron of France is 42, 45 years old. So if I'm 45 years old, so how do I become a generation that is too young to run? I'm not too young to run. Then the most important thing is that our country is messed up, and it's messed up from the top. So if everything must be corrected in our country, it can only be corrected from the top. In a house where things are wrong, you don't correct things from the side, from bottom up. You correct from the top. So our country is in a mess, and we need to put it on the right track. So if we must do that, we need someone who's not a politician, but someone who is going to just do the right thing and see how we can fix our country. I'm not a politician. I don't want to be a politician. I just want to be a man that can lead Nigerian to a new land, a Nigerian that will be great again, a Nigerian that all Nigerians will come back home and say, our home is good now. Let's go back home. So this is why I am aiming for the top, so that we can fix our country and stop corruption from there, and it can now trickle down to all parts of the government. We can fix our light, because when we fix this light, Nigeria have lights too, it will affect chairman, governor, and everybody. So until we have a leader who is ready to be on top and solve all this problem, then a house of rep, a governor, a chairman cannot do anything to solve our problem. So this is why I am aiming for the presidency.
Okay, you heard from Mr. Oluwadare Joseph. The younger generation out there, we need to get involved in politics and change our country for the better. If you're not doing politics, if you're not going for presidency, if you're not into something like this, what else would you have been doing?
Well, I'll continue to do what I'm doing right now. An actor, acting my movies, a musician, singing my song, and also continue to do my foundation to help as many people I can still help within my domain.
Lastly, sir, what are your last words for Nigeria in general?
Thank you, my uncle. My last word to Nigerians, both in Turkey and all around the world, is that this next election is about the soul of our country. And what it means is that if you're not happy with the way things are going on in our country back home, insecurity, kidnapping every day, hunger, no fuel, also strike, corruption in high places, and I can mention, I won't finish. If you're not happy with it, we're going to stop complaining about it, we're going to do something about it. And that is why I want all of you, wherever you are around the world, to join me, and let's see how we can make our country better. Please join me. Visit my website, www.fadurisjourney.com, and see all the plans we're going to have to fix Nigeria. Please join me. See if you can donate and support what we're doing. Or even if it's prayer, continue to pray for us. But be an active participant in this next election. And let's see how we can rescue our nation. Enough is enough. Thank you.
You've heard it from Oluwadare Joseph, the young Nigerian who is going for the seat of the presidency in Nigeria, and I believe all the youth out there in the nation and diaspora will support this young man. And remember, we're still reaching you live from Eagle Studio from Istanbul, Turkey. Remember to subscribe and to leave a comment on the section. Thank you.